Welcome, Helldivers, and today I wanted to help you in your mission in killing your first Hive Lord, or help the process be more efficient than what you might already be doing. I think what I can share can be of some help, as I've killed 10 Hive Lords at the time of making this video, and the majority of these kills are, most importantly, still with more than enough time to finish the mission and get all the side objectives done. With that, let's get straight into it. I want to focus on the Hive Lords first before talking about loadouts and strategies. The Hive Lord is basically one giant centipede with a really bad attitude. You can tell your mission usually has one by basically 3 to 5 minutes while you're on the outside, or even sometimes when I first encountered a Hive Lord, you're inside the tunnels and you're in an open area, you will see your screen start to shake quite noticeably, as well as unique audio of distant monster noises will play in the background, as you will eventually see the massive smoke of upturned dirt and earth just start moving towards you. This usually means you have a Hive Lord. Now, on the other hand, I cannot confirm this. However, I have, from my experience, every time I have a Dragon Roach, I usually do not have a Hive Lord. However, I have had people tell me that they have fought Hive Lords and Dragon Roaches. And for those people, God bless your soul, because that sounds like hell. But for the most part, in my experience at least, I can say that if you do see a Dragon Roach in the horizon or in the sky somewhere, there is a strong possibility that you do not have Hive Lords. However, when you are fighting it eventually, just remember the Hive Lord has 150,000 health. However, its tankiness is its armor plating on each of its sections that make up its body. Most of the time, and really the boss fight itself, is just you and your team trying to break the armor so you can finally do full damage. Because the truth is, if you break the armor, it's basically guaranteed at that point that you guys are going to get it in the bag, as long as you focus your fire. Which is the name of the game. You will need to coordinate with your team to focus your fire on 1, not 3, not 2, 1. Focus your fire and effort on one section so that the armor breaks as quickly as possible, whichever one is easier for you. While the head and mouth may have less armor so you can do full damage, the effort, precision, and with the boss constantly moving so much, makes it really not worth the effort. My group tends to focus fire on the second lowest section of the body, as it's easy to throw thermites there, as well as focus fire on it with other stuff. The worms are going to do annoying vomit attacks, body slams, and even do these dives through the ground, as if you are not careful, it can get you with those. But the most deadly enemy while fighting the Hive Lord is actually not the worm itself, it's all the chaff and other bugs spawning in while you fight. A lot of teams and I death spiral where we go from 20 reinforcements to 5 isn't cause of the Hive Lord, it's the constant bug breaches that are gonna be popping up while you also deal with the boss itself. I highly recommend that once you are doing DPS and the Hive Lord is diving underground and shooting back up or just disappears for 2 minutes, take that time to clear chaff. As well as even when the boss is in a phase where you can focus on him, sometimes it may be more beneficial to focus on your efforts on those 10 chargers and impalers making life hell. The boss isn't going to go anywhere, and in the end it will save you more time than any special strat can to kill the Hive Lord quicker. Loadout wise, my whole squad was bringing Eagle Strafing Runs, Thermites, and Emancipators, as well as Ultimatums. These 4 items will be your best way at dealing damage and cracking that armor, especially the 4 Emancipator mechs. How quick you can get the armor with those focused fire of 4 mechs is actually insane, as I know the quickest kill so far has been 2 minutes, but with 4 mechs focused fire and the 3 thermites and eagles and ultimatums, we killed a worm in 4 minutes no problem. The other weapons I had on at the time were the Coyote, Harpoon Gun, and Supply Pack, as I often need more stims due to the rupture bugs, as well as refilling on thermites and ultimatum shots. Coyote and Harpoon Gun may not be your cup of tea, and that's completely okay. While I was using them at the time since the Warbond had just dropped and I wanted to try out the new content, I think personally they are really good options for chaff, and the Harpoon Gun is good to shoot at the armor of a Hive Lord when you got really nothing else. Remember this as well, that when the armor is broken, the worm takes full damage to anything in the game when hitting that section. So if you run out of ammo in your special, you have no more thermites to run, your mechs are on cooldown, you have no eagles, and you got a coyote with 7 mags, start mag dumping that gun into the unarmored section of a Hive Lord, alright? Any damage will help. It has 150,000 health, and any damage will help get that number to 0. This is the strat my team and I have developed over time hunting Hive Lords. While you could use hell bombs and orbital lasers, I personally find that orbital lasers, they often, once the worm has gone underground, will focus on the chaff enemies that are hitting your position, and now that it's distracted, will no longer retarget back to the Hive Lord when you need it to, especially since it will pop up in a far distant location that it doesn't even have the AI think of retargeting to the Hive Lord, since it's so focused on all the chaff, which is a lot of damage to miss out on, especially when you think about how a stratagem slot and a 3-minute cooldown will just immediately just be used on just an orbital laser. And activating hell bombs on the Hive Lord, I will say, those can do a lot of damage. But I personally can't say me and my team are that good at deploying them properly, because there's been a lot of times where I or a team activates the hell bomb on the Hive Lord only for the Hive Lord to go immediately underground and the bomb completely miss its target. So instead of really having that, I kind of made this guide to focus on trying to minimize situations like that from happening, where you bring in a stratagem or use a hell bomb and it just misses or doesn't really do what you needed to for the boss fight, while also on that providing you enough utility to continue on with the mission and not have your entire loadout be focused on just the Hive Lord itself, as you could just have an entire loadout focused on the Hive Lord. However, I feel doing that kind of leaves you open for when you have to do the rest of the mission and you have nothing to really help you while you're in those caverns. And that's my entire guide to help you in your hunt for Hive Lords. Go be the Lisan al-Gaibs you were born to be, Helldiver. If this guide was helpful, maybe leave a like and drop a comment down below on maybe some tips you think other divers should know. And with that, I'll see you next time. Be safe and don't drown.